Now let's talk about accumulation of drug in urine. So in pharmacokinetic modeling, we are not only interested in drug distribution in the body, but also how it gets eliminated. So among the multiple elimination pathways, urine excretion plays a major role. So the quantification of unchanged drug in urine is not only like a practical measurement in clinical and research setting, but also offers additional methods for assessing pharmacokinetic parameters such as clearance and exposure. So in the model, we will use M urine to denote the total mass of unchanged drug excreted into the urine at any time t. So the rate at which this mass accumulates is directly related to the plasma concentration of the drug and the renal clearance rate. So that means we can write a differential equation, dm urine dt. So now you treat urine as a control, or you treat the bladder as a control volume, and then consider what goes into this control volume. So then the accumulation of the mass in the control volume equals in minus out plus generation minus consumption. And in this case, we are not considering outflux, and also there's no drug being generated or consumed within the bladder. So then it's only the influx. Influx is water filtered from plasma. That's why we have Q renal. The same Q renal we discussed earlier, multiplied by C total function of time. So the amount of drug being excreted per unit of time is proportional to its concentration in plasma, and also the filtration rate. To solve this equation, we will use our previously established model for plasma concentration following a rapid intravenous injection. And right now, the equation can be general, and so we will talk about like a specific case very soon that when it applies to rapid injection. But right now, when we derived the total expression, so last time, we got a C total as C total naught multiplied by e to the minus A total. So in this case, we haven't specified what is C total naught. We will specify it when we talk about the rapid injection, but right now it's just a general. Although it's general, however, you will see that this equation, because of its exponential decay, it is most relevant for injection. Anyway, so we had this equation. We are now going to use this result to plug in to our urine equation. So we would assume the Q, will be a constant. We'll have C total naught multiplied by the exponential decay term. And we can substitute this, well, like after substitution, we can solve for the differential equation by using the initial condition. So the initial condition is the mass, like the time equal to 0 in urine Maximum would it be zero? It is because it's not somewhere like there was no drug in the urine to begin with. Only after some time, then the drug is being cleaned by the kidney and then goes into the urine. So that's why the initial condition is zero. So then you can integrate this Gamma equation and use the initial condition to determine the final expression. So solve for then you will get urine function of time equals to followed by C total naught divided by C total. And we have some term that involves the exponential term. So this is it. So once you know the parameters like Q or K or C, then you can calculate the accumulation of the drug in the urine at any given time T. And if you are asking like the accumulation amount of in the urine like after a long time, for example, after someone taken a drug, instead of asking what happened after 1 hour or 2 hours, let's just ask like after a long time what happens in the urine. So um, so we ask as t goes to infinite, what does this equation look like? If t goes to infinite, then the exponential term almost vanish. So we would have n urine equal to total. That means that's the total amount of accumulation over a long time. It equals to just the coefficient in the front. Okay, so this is the result like after a long time accumulation. We can digest what does that mean. So let's use an injection model as an example. So in a rapid injection model, we have C total, the dose. So the C total not the initial condition, the dose of the drug divided by the apparent. So now you can use this expression to get it urine total. It's the C total multi equation. You get a urine total multiplied by the drug divided by the apparent. That the ratio, which is like Q renal divided by V apparent, is K renal, if you recall what we discussed last time. So this can be written as the drug dose multiplied by K renal divided by K total. So now after we written in this way, you can see it's very suggestive and also makes sense. for this total urine accumulation. This expression shows that the total amount of drug recovered unchanged in the urine equals the dose multiplied by the fraction of total elimination attributed to the renal pathway. So if you recall, K total is a bunch of K added together. You can have K renal plus K metabolism plus K sweat plus whatever. And so the ratio K renal divided by K total is the fraction of contribution by the renal pathway. So that means eventually this fraction of the drug multiplied by the dose would be this fraction of the drug taken in the entire body would be goes into the urine, which gives the urine M urine total. And in particular, so if renal is the only elimination pathway, then K renal would equal to K total. In that case, the M renal total would just equal to the drug dosage. So if K renal equal to K total, means renal is the only drug elimination pathway. And we have M urine total equals to the drug. It just recovers what we would expect. So this is one way we can get a M urine as a function of time, and also M urine we obtain as like urine total. You can also directly use the area under the curve. So alternatively, use area under the curve. So recall last time we derived that the area under the curve 0 to infinite, we got it equal to d drop divided by Q plasma. So we are going to multiply both sides by Q renal. So we would obtain AUC 0 to infinite Q renal equals to D drop multiplied by Q renal divided by Q plasma. Now notice that the Q renal divided by Q plasma is the same as K renal divided by K total. If you recall also from last time, how K is defined, how K is like the Q from each elimination mechanism divided by the V apparent. So these two ratios are the same. So I'm just going to write it again. So the same as this ratio. So we know that this equals to M total. This is from our previous equation, so here. So that means you can just write M total equals to area under the curve multiplied by 2. So this equation provides a connection between the measurable quantities like the total renal excretion of the drug, renal clearance rate, and those like AUC. So like it just gives you a different equation if you measure different quantities and want to estimate one of these. Okay, so that's the content that I would like to cover for this lecture. The idea is pretty straightforward. So we are just looking at this mass balance. It's the same as any, I mean, the principle is the same as any balance principle. We have d accumulation dt equals to the sum of all the possible contributions. And then we use the solution from last time, the C total. We plug in and then we solved for M urine. And then if we consider rapid injection model, we can estimate what is C total. Then or the initial condition C total naught, and then we can just manipulate the terms and to get some expression that helps us to identify what's the total accumulation of drug in the urine. And one insightful thing is indeed this equation. It's a fraction of the total dosage, and the fraction based on how much the renal elimination contributes in terms of the total possible, all the possible pathways of elimination. Okay, now let's look at the homework problem. So in this homework problem, a patient received a rapid injection. So if it tells you like a single intravenous holistic dose of drug, this means a rapid injection. Rapid. So the dosage is given. Plasma concentration at time 0 is measured at this value. The total elimination rate constant. C total is also given. After complete elimination, a total of this amount of unchanged drug is recovered in the urine. So it asks you to determine the renal clearance. All right, that's all for this lecture.